So, you finally did it. You finally caved in and bought Dreadhunger, the world's best social deception game on the market. Or, at the very least, that's what your friends are telling you. But you don't believe them, because you don't know what you're doing, and you're overwhelmed. And you want to enjoy the game, but you feel at a loss, or maybe you've never played the game before, so you don't know what to expect. Well, thankfully, I'm here to help you. In this segment of the video, we'll be going around the very, very basic controls in Dreadhunger. It is assumed that you already know what Dreadhunger is as a game and what it's about. So I am here to introduce you simple controls and simple mechanics that will be important in aiding you. So, other than the basics, of course, we have WASD to move. That's simple. We all know that. Scroll wheel to scroll your hotbar, which is 8 slots. Or you can also press the number keys on your keyboard to switch slots accordingly. In Dreadhunger, your shift key is your life. You don't have stamina, to a degree, in Dreadhunger, meaning you can sprint infinitely without any repercussions. Spacebar to jump and cross large gaps. You can also float a little bit in the air. This is not really that important, but it's nice for preventing a bad landing if the situation so calls for it. Something to note in Dreadhunger, which is not seen anywhere on the menus, and it is not explained anywhere in the game itself, actually. Whenever you jump, and you continuously jump or continuously swing by pressing the left click button, you suddenly become really tired. This is because the game has a hidden stamina meter when you jump, and only when you jump or perform any sort of action with your left click or with your right click. Be very careful, as this might get you killed if you spam jumps, and suddenly you find yourself unable to sprint for 1.5 seconds before being able to sprint again. In terms of crew controls and thrall controls, there is one major difference that one must keep in mind, which is the letter C. Whenever you press C as a thrall, you pull out your bone knife. All of these controls can be rebound in the menus, of course, but make sure to never listen to anyone who tells you can press C to crouch, especially if you're a thrall. You wouldn't want your first game, which is always guaranteed to be a thrall game, for some reason, to end in such a horrible, horrible way. That would be just devastating. Whenever you press C, you can take out your bone knife, and then you'll be able to cast spells by using your bone knife. As a crew and as a thrall, if you hold the Q button, you'll be able to open up your crafting menu. By selecting what you want to build and pressing left click, you'll be able to place a hologram of the object you want to craft. By collecting the required materials, in this case tree wood and 4 stone, you'll be able to craft a campfire. For instance, as a thrall, you are also able to craft something known as a bone totem, with 1 bone and tree wood. This will assist you with the amount and efficiency of your spells. Over here in the caravan, you can open up, and you can also switch your thrall spells. Very important. In terms of items, let's say I have a few wood on me. There's a few things I can do. With left click, I can swing. If I hold right click, my FOV will increase just marginally. If I then press left click while holding right click, I will be able to throw the object. Be aware that this is not the case for every single object in the game. However, if you are able to raise the object over your shoulder, it is assumed that you are able to throw it by then pressing left click. If you want to drop an item, you have 2 options. The first is by pressing F. Simple as. The second option is by holding tab. By holding tab, it unlocks your mouse. If you then mouse over your inventory and hold left click and drag out what you want to drop and then let go, you will drop everything in a stack. Another useful tip is, for instance, if you open a supply box. This is a bit of a bad example, but if you open a supply box and you want to store something, there's 2 ways you can do it. The first is you can hold left click to drag. This is a little bit slow. The second alternative is you can press right click to stack one at a time. However, the fastest and most consistent way is by holding left control and then pressing right click, which immediately puts it in a stack. A lot of people do not know this, so I hope that you have at least learned something from that very small segment, because it allows you to be much more effective than you would at any other normal scenario. Now, when you search through supplies, sometimes you may come across scrap. Scrap is a very basic material that can be found in supply boxes, which can be used to craft all sorts of things. Speaking of crafting, let us talk about workbenches. On the ship, there are 2 workbenches. Both on the bottom deck. You can find one here, right past the brig. And you can find one next to the boiler room, right parallel to it. By pressing E on the workbench, it allows you to open up a workbench menu. By mousing over items, it shows you what you need to craft said item. Let us say I want to make nails. By pressing the nails button, the crafting action will commence, thus converting my 1 scrap into 2 nails. Nails are very important as they allow you to fix leaks onto the ship caused by explosions or crashes onto any icebergs. Let us say I want to craft a shovel for a melee weapon because I'm lacking one. I would need a single wood, a single lead ingot, and 1 nail. By pressing the craft button, it will craft. It will take a little bit of time, but once it's completed, it'll consume the resources and you can take it. This button up here allows you to repair items with durability, whether it be a saber, a pistol, or a musket. Items with durability are different from normal items, as once they run out of durability indicated by a perpendicular circle of an orange square around the item, it will no longer function, or in the case of the saber, it will deal extremely reduced damage. For no cost and no fee, you can press this button, wait around 6 seconds, and it will completely repair the durability for free. Let's tour around the ship first. This is the captain's quarters. This is the captain's chest. The winner of the poker game at the start of the game will receive a key that allows you to open this chest. Make sure that if you receive the key, you open this chest, as it always comes with goodies. Over here is the stat book. This allows you to see your stats. As you can see, I have no life. This is the wardrobe. In the lobby, you can press E to change your character or customize. Over here is the ship's wheel. This is where the captain or whoever will be driving the ship will be steering. Over here, all the way up, is the crow's nest. This is probably the least used part of the ship, but beware. As a crew, it's a very good spotting location. And as a thrall, it's a very good totem building location. Keep an eye out on anyone coming down from the crow's nest, as typically, that usually means a sign of foul play. Down here, straight to our left, is the boiler room. This is where the ship will be able to start and maintain its fuel throughout the game. Connected straight to the boiler is the boiler chute up in the captain's quarters. Coal, wood, and any sort of devious intents, such as gunpowder, can be placed through even while the boiler is turned off. Be very careful not to get caught doing so, though. This is the brig. This is where a dead player will respawn. Upon respawning here, a player will require a key to be let out. However, if a player is a thrall, they may choose to let themselves out freely if they are running the Spirit Walk spell. Over here is the kitchen. This is where a lot of food will be made, the cook will be making their stew, and just overall where antidotes will be made by the doctor. Make sure, if you are ever cooking a stew, this door is locked. By pressing E on the lock, you will not be able to open it until the lock is broken or you open it from the inside. This is the armory. Upon finding 6 digits of the armory code scattered randomly throughout the map, you'll be able to open the armory door. Inside the armory door are 4 muskets, the most dangerous weapon in the game. If you give it to a troll, you've probably lost. Last but not least is the poker room. This is the starting room And that's basically it. Anyway, that was our basics video on how to Dreadhunger, keybinds, and just everything of the sort. Thank you for watching me, and I hope that you have at least learned something. Goodbye.